Hello students, and I hope you are still safe. Welcome to today's lesson, and today we are going to talk about function writing, which is tested in KCSE English Paper 1. Our item of concern today is writing letters of application. Now, I know you have found yourself in a situation where you had to write letters of application, and if you are not yet, then I'm sure you will find yourself in such a situation soon. Now, letters of application are written to ask for employment or a vacancy or even a scholarship for your case from a particular organization. Now, the letters have two addresses. That is the address of the sender and the address of the receiver. They have the salutation, where you salute the person. You can say dear sir or madam. Then they have the re, which we call the title. They also have the body, and they have the valediction. Therefore, a letter of application will have 5 items. That is 2 addresses, salutation, title, body, and valediction. And we can represent them using an image as follows. So we have the sender's address, which can either be on the extreme left hand side or on the extreme right hand side, and that is why I've written it can either be here or here. Then there will be a space, then we will have a date. This date can also be on either side, either left hand side or right hand side, but it must be attached to the sender's address, though you skip some space. Now, about the date, when you are writing it, you must make sure that you write it in full. For example, you can write something like 13th May 2020, just for example. So this is the best format to write the date, as opposed to where you write using hyphens or even the slashes. Then the third item is the receiver's address. This one must be on the left hand side, and again you will skip a space between the date and the receiver's address. Something worth noting about the address, both the senders and the receivers, because many students make this mistake, is that when you are writing the address, you should make sure that you do not write a personal name. For example, I cannot write Paul Karaoke, P.O. Box, then I write the number there. I will not do that. I'm not supposed to do that. It's either I write the name of the institution or an institution I am attached to, or I just begin with P.O. Box. For example, if I'm writing my address, I will say P.O. Box 150, and maybe I write the name of the town, for example. So, if I am attached to a particular institution, it's only then that I can write the name of the institution here. But you should never write your name. You should never write the receiver's name. Then after that, we have the salutation as the next item. And the salutation is just a greeting phrase. And mostly it is as dear sir or madam, dear sir stroke madam. That is the best way of writing salutation. However, in some situations, you might know the receiver's name, and therefore you write their name. For example, you can say dear Mr. Nguru, just for example. So in this case, both of them are accepted. But this happens if the question you have been asked in an exam is directly implying that you are writing the letter to a person you know at a personal level. Then after that, the next thing that you write is the re, or the title of the letter. And here, there is a common mistake that students make, where instead of re, they write ref. Please never make that mistake, because it might compromise your marks. Because when we say re, it is a short form of the word regarding. So I am writing this letter regarding. But if you write ref, it is a short form of the word reference, which is basically a number. Reference is a reference number, and therefore if you write ref, you will lose mark for this. Then this title should be written in capital letters. For example, you are writing to apply for a scholarship, therefore you will say application for a scholarship, just for example, application for a scholarship. Then you will underline the whole of that, including the re. The basic question, or the common question that students ask in such a case, is whether this one should start immediately at the margin of your page, or it should be a bit indented. And my answer is it should always start at the margin. Now from there, we will go, okay, sorry, before we go to the body, there is still another mistake that students make here, double underlining. That is not a punctuation mark in English, and therefore if you write, or if you do double underlining on this, you are messing up with your marks, because that one means that you have used a punctuation mark that is not recognized in English. From there, you move to the body, and the body typically has 3 paragraphs, and these paragraphs work in the following ways. The first paragraph introduces yourself and the reason why you are writing the letter. Remember, this is a formal letter, and therefore you are not supposed to offer greetings or anything. You go straight to the business of the letter. For example, if you listen to this paragraph, this fella goes straight to whatever he is supposed to say. Application for a history CRE job vacancy. Then he goes ahead and says, I am applying for the above mentioned post advertised in the Daily Nation on Wednesday, 23rd July 2017. So here, the first paragraph mentions what you are writing the letter for, what it is that you are applying, and how you came to hear of it. Then, the second paragraph is the paragraph that gives the background of whatever it is that you are doing. And in this paragraph, you just justify your course. For example, if it is a scholarship you are asking for, then you just explain why you think you qualify for that. In this example of ours, this person says, I am a TSC registered history and Christian religious education teacher, and I completed my Bachelor of Education degree from Laikipia University in the year 2015, graduated the same year with a second class honors upper division. My TSC number is this and this. So you get to know that the body is mentioning the reason why this person feels that they fit or they should be granted that position. Then this paragraph, the second paragraph, in some instances can be split into 2 once you feel that all the details you need to give cannot fit in one paragraph. Therefore you can split it and you have another paragraph, but it should be an extension of paragraph 2. Then the third paragraph, or the fourth paragraph in this case, if there is a split, is usually very, very short. Actually, most of the times it is just 1 sentence long, where you express faith and optimism, hope that you are going to clinch whatever you have applied for. This person has said, thank you in advance because I know you're going to consider my application. So in this case, just show that you are convinced that you are the right person for whatever it is that you are applying for, and indicate it in a sentence or 2 in the last paragraph. So that is how the body looks like. Then finally, we have the valediction, or some people call it the closure of the letter or the signing off. And this valediction has three parts. I will show you here. Just allow me to rub with my hand. The 3 parts are, 1, the closing tag, yours faithfully, just for example. And you can say also yours sincerely. Now, if you have mentioned the name of the person in the salutation, then you will say yours sincerely. If you have used dear sir or madam, then you will say yours faithfully. Then you will have a comma. You will have a signature, and then you will write your name. Maybe whoever is writing, in this case, because you are optimistic, then you are hallelujah. Maybe that is your name. So in this case, you will write the closing tag, the signature, and the name. Here we have a comma, and a full stop, but this one is not mandatory. It's either you write it or not. So that is the graphic representation of writing letters of application. And much as my explanation is limited because of the video time, I hope you have gotten a lot from it. I will send follow-up notes, and please attempt the questions that I will attach to it. Thank you so much.